Hello everyone and welcome back to Dragalia Foundry, a fan channel where everything Dragalia Lost can be found. In today's video, I'll be summoning on the brand new Gala Dragalia Summon Showcase, this time featuring Gala Thor, a new Gala Dragon. This showcase is only around for a few days, so if you want to summon on this, this is your time to do so. You can wait until the end, but I anticipate we're very likely to just get an element-focused showcase coming up next. Maybe we won't, since this actually features adventurers of different elements, not all one element, and it says everything will appear in the next summon showcase. So we may not get a focus, but I do think we're probably going to get a filler banner. Maybe we'll get like a second half banner to the event characters, because there are some characters in the event who aren't featured on this banner, so that could be another possibility. But all this to say, I think Gala Thor is a reason to summon. I didn't make a proper should you summon video for this, but I do think Gala Thor turned out to be quite good. I didn't want to make a video without having first played a little bit of Tartarus's Wrath, just because I didn't know, how Gala Thor would stack up. But having played it, there are some dragon-centric mechanics. I've still only done my one clear, which was done in solo play, but there's enough dragon-centric mechanics, there's opportunities to get energized without getting afflicted all the time, to where I think that his Chariot Rider is going to be excellent. His dragon form looks really, really sick, and I do think he's a very solid dragon. The nice thing about him is you can go up to 95% strength with a full 5 stacks of energy. He passively accumulates 1 energy every 5 seconds, but any energy generation by your team or your characters is going to contribute to that. And the other thing is, even though it caps at 95%, it's not a linear increase, so it's not a 9% increase each time. The first energy you get is going to be a 25% strength bonus, so with only 1 energy, that's 75% strength aura on this dragon, which is excellent. And every subsequent energy is going to be an extra 5% until you hit 95. Once you use an energized skill from there, obviously you're going to reset back down to 50, but again, 5 seconds later, you're back up to 75, so I think he's excellent. Thunderbringer 2 is just kind of the icing on the cake, so when your shapeshift is over, you do get some nice bonus, just like all the Gala Dragons kind of have something like that. But yeah, that's why I'm summoning today. Everything else on this banner seems a little bit replaceable. I haven't actually played the event yet, so I can't speak to these characters or how much I would want them. The whole angelic suits aesthetic, it reminds me of Bayonetta a lot. I'm not really that into it as far as the aesthetic of these characters, so I wouldn't be summoning here if not for just wanting to pick up Gala Thor, honestly. But Ramiel as a dragon, probably the most interesting other thing on this banner, since Ramiel gives you 50% of the dragon gauge at the start of quests, which does work on helpers. The new fight, Tartarus's Wrath, has a lot of dragon-centric mechanics, and being able to use a dragon like this with Shadow Element characters seems potentially very busted for that fight, because dragons can apparently undo certain things and are needed in certain segments of the fight. I was not aware of any of that as I played through for my solo clear, because I used Belina and she has dragon drive, so she's not really doing dragon things, and she's even immune to certain moves. So apparently there's like a prison move that you hide behind. That doesn't work on Belina, so I didn't even know that that was a thing, but apparently you kind of need dragons for the fight. I mean, I didn't use any, but I guess you kind of do for co-op or just for like most players. So Ramiel seems like a good dragon if you're taking Shadow to that, but I don't think it's necessarily crucial, since it's likely at least one of your characters could go into the portal if they needed to or something, and I think there's other ways you could fill your dragon gauge, basically. But one of the other cool things about Ramiel is his skill. It seems really good. So this skill gives a strong defense reduction. It also causes poison. And then what's interesting about it is it readies the user's second skill for use, which usually those are better, more powerful or unique effects, slower to charge, and gradually fills the skill gauges of the user's first and second skills for 90 seconds. That's really, really nice. So I think Ramiel is a very strong dragon. Surprisingly strong. Obviously, probably better with shapeshift-centric characters or in fights centered around shapeshifting, but nevertheless, I think, considering Shadow already is an element with so strong dragons, for this to even get like an interesting look or mention, I think speaks to how kind of cool this is, and maybe there's even some meme potential or cheese potential because of the immediate shapeshift that you get off of just one passive. I mean, that's pretty strong. Nevin and Pinon, the two adventurers, I really don't have a lot of interest in. The mechanic that both of them have is sort of this lock sigil mechanic, where for 300 seconds they're locked, and there's some conditions, like in Pinon's case, she can use 4 strikes to reduce the amount of seconds she's locked for, and once she becomes unlocked, she gets stronger and has some other passive bonuses. But honestly, I really just don't see anything game-changing or really special here with Pinon. And same thing with Nevin. I mean, there's such good shadow daggers right now, right? You have Vice, you have Belina, you have Delphi. Like, those are 3 premium shadow daggers. They're all really, really good. So unless you're planning on crafting a bunch of shadow daggers, I just don't know that it's really worth it. His buff zone only works on shadow attuned adventurers, but it is a sizable buff. And if your sigil is released, then you're also going to get some light damage prevention. But he doesn't have any dispel, I believe, so that's one potential weakness for him. His lock sigil goes down in time when you shapeshift, so that's why he would work pretty well with Ramiel. But overall, like, you know, these passives seem kind of unremarkable. I don't necessarily see these characters as being particularly good, but everything on new banners is usually like at least okay. So I have a feeling they're not going to be really bad either. But yeah, that's kind of what I think about the characters. That's not the reason I'm summoning. I wouldn't mind copies of Ramiel, but basically we're just going to summon until we get a Thor, and we may summon for multiple Thor if we get particularly lucky and we get one early. And while we summon, I will talk a little bit about my experience with Tartarus' Wrath and my solo clear that I posted yesterday, since I didn't have any commentary on that. This is a scenario where we honestly probably could use the max. Let's say we get Thor within our 10 summons. If we happen to get Thor, I would probably summon for a second copy of Thor, because I only have 2 Sunlight Stones right now. So I think this is okay, you know, because we'd keep going even if we happen to get a 5-star in the first batch. Let's go ahead and do it. I do want to try out this feature, even though I don't think this is generally the way you want to do things. Maybe we will get a 5-star, you never know. Doesn't look like it from here. Does it actually show it in a circle? Hey, we did get a 5-star. And cool, it actually presents it in a circle. That's kind of a nice quality of life thing. Was our 5-star actually Thor? Dude, it is Dragon. That's awesome. Okay, let's continue and see. So all the 4-stars in the game are just dupes for me at this point. Same with 3 stars, but this could be a Thor or a Ramiel or anything else. Oh, Konoha Sakya, that's not what we're going for at all. Let's skip. The rest should all be duplicates. Sakya, you know, not available via Draconic Essences yet. She's still a pretty respectable dragon. So I don't mind having an extra copy, but I think I already have like 2 Max Unbound Sakyas, which is too many for me right now. So we'll do 10 more again. I mean, I think... Oh, that was actually bad. Because I should have checked my pity rate. Well, we broke our pity rate again. Oh my gosh! 3? Are you kidding me? Alright, a staff, wand, and a dragon. Let's go. One of these has got to be something new, right? Imagine if that's Yukata Cassandra. That would be awesome. Please, let's go. It's very unlikely to be, but that would be really awesome. Called it! No! Oh my gosh, yes! I have really wanted to try this character. I went in a little bit on the remix because I was so into the Volk clears at that time that I was like, Cassandra seems really fun to try. This was, I think, the only staff I was missing. Okay, this is going insane. What? I don't have Urius either. This could have been a Lily, this could have been a Maribel, Lucretia, anyone. Oh my gosh. Okay, show us Gala Thor. Well, I don't have Haster. Okay, Let's keep going. This has been awesome so far. I have not had a Gala where I actually get new characters in a long time. This is really sick. I miss this feeling of actually successful summoning. And I was just thinking about Urias today because with that solo clear I did, the reason it worked sort of was because I was using Belina and she's in Dragon Drive. She can't get imprisoned. So I don't know if Urias works that same way, but I don't have any other Dragon Drive character except for Aldred and I guess you could say Tiki. But I don't know if he can actually stay in Dragon Drive. Well, it raises the Dragon Drive gauge. Tentacle Phantasma. Yeah, so Belina, by doing basic attacks, she stays in Dragon Drive, which is she's kind of ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he can stay in Dragon Drive in the same way that she can. So it might not work for him, but I guess he could still block that shield or that cage thing from spawning. Yeah, this is awesome. So for Haster, one of the things I was gonna say about him is I do think we're gonna get another batch of Draconic Essences, and I feel like the Prime Dragons will definitely fit in there. So what I expect is that we will get Kamui, Haster, and Kagutsuchi. And then for Light, I think we'll get Liger, because Liger's just kind of like a basic dragon. But for Shadow, I don't know what we'll get. It feels like Marishi 10 would be appropriate, but obviously Marishi 10 is limited. So maybe Ramiel, the new dragon, would feature there, but Ramiel seems a little too good for that. There's just not another kind of like non-limited, generic Shadow dragon that's not too powerful. But I do think these Prime Dragons are weak enough that they might just add them to the essences, so I'm not going to try and bind Haster at all. Wow. This has been insane so far. Okay, so it did reset our pity rate back down to 0 by doing that. So what I was going to say is the mistake we made the first time is the 5-star happened in the middle, so in order to increase our pity rate, we needed to do like 3 or 4 more summons first and then do 10. I guess it doesn't really matter with how we're doing this. Let's do it again. This is just fun to do. Let's do it again. Maybe we'll get a 5-star again. And if we don't, that's okay. We increased our pity rate with the convenience of one simple click, so that works out as well. All right, looks like we only got a 4-star. I don't think there's any special transformations that happen in this context, but I guess you never know. Nope, doesn't look like it. Okay, so we skipped those. And let's just do it again, actually. Because we still have the means to break our pity. We still have enough singles afterward, so if things go astray here, or we get a 5-star in the middle, we can see how this works. We did get a 5-star. Nice. Alright, we got 1. Could it be a dragon? Alright, it is a dragon. Let's kind of skip ahead. Are we seeing Gala Thor? No, we're seeing Prometheus. Lovely as you may be, you are not who we're going for, and now you exist in the essences, which any dragons that are in essences now, it just feels so bad to have spent Sunlight Stones. Alright, you can see what I'm saying. So now we only need to do 6 more summons to increase our 5-star appearance rate, because of the order in which we got our 5-star. Let's look here for a second. I just want to confirm something. I'm pretty sure Yukata Cassandra was the only thing that could have been new for me in the staffs, which is insane. Wow. Yeah. I think that was the only staff I don't have. And for the wands, it was only Urias. And there's one more. Let's see. Yeah, Urias and Summer Sonoas, and she's kind of like brand new. But wow, that was so lucky. Alright, so now we're going to do 6 individually because we're getting low on our singles. So we'll do these kind of quickly. But for Tartarus' Wrath, it was really fun trying to solo it. I used the Shadow team. I tried using Light, but people were really unhappy that I used the Shadow team. What I didn't realize, having tried that as a blind run, because I kind of like to learn the mechanics for myself and just experience the fight myself nowadays with all the expert Agitos, I didn't realize how popular Shadow has become in the co-op rooms for like cheesing the fight and doing it in like 1 minute. I wouldn't say I choose the fight. It was like an 8.5-minute clear, so it was very long and very arduous to actually clear using a Shadow team the way that I did it. Having said that, Shadow has so many tools. This is what basically happened. I felt that I needed a Dispeller, I needed some type of healer, and Shadow is the element where I had both of those built in the form of Grace and Belina. And Belina's Dragon Drive, in particular, which blocks Affliction, seemed important. She has like infinite iframes. So in a fight where she can afford to stay at low HP because there's not a lot of unavoidable damage or something, she seems really good. Yeah, so basically that's what ended up happening. I looked it up, and Shadow has 8 Dispellers. I think Flame is next, it has 4, and then Wind has 2. Water and Light don't have any Dispellers. So if I would have wanted to use a Light team or a Water team, I would have had to use shared skills, but the only shared skill with Dispel that I have is Ronzal's, and it's super slow to charge up. So I felt kind of locked in, like they didn't put Dispel on any of the Light Spirals, and it seemed pretty important for the fight. As it turns out, there's an ability that blocks Dispel from happening, which I really wasn't aware of until I got pretty far into trying to clear it. But I think Shadow just has so many tools right now. It's not, like the way that I did it, I wouldn't describe it as cheese because it was very long and not trivial to do to kind of make sure my characters never got enervated or anything. But I do think there's some co-op clears that are definitely very cheesy. Okay. Our appearance rate has been heightened only once, but we don't have enough singles to continue doing it that way. So now let's start doing 10-folds. Interesting, we haven't gotten anything on focus at all yet, but we've still gotten some good stuff nevertheless. Let's see what 5 stars we get this time around. There's 1 5-star, and it's a Lance. It could be Forte, I don't have her. So there's some good possibilities for us in the Lance department. And it was a dupe, it was a Catherine, that's fine. Good to see you, Catherine. So let's do another 10-fold. We may be going into the Wormite here, it certainly looks like it, with us not having gotten Gala Thor yet. At this point, I don't know that I'll try get multiple Gala Thors. Even if I got multiple, I'm not 100% sure I would bind them, unbind them together, because it does seem kind of like a cool dragon to have multiples of to build an energy team. Essentially, I was in good shape on my Sunlight Stones, but when I was doing those Volk solos, I had that extra singleton copy of Galamars, and I cracked at some point and was like, let me just unbind this Galamars. So those were the 4 stones I was saving for Gala Thor. So now I have 2 Mars and no Thor. We got a bow. It could be Pinon, it could be Cerise, it could be Chelsea. There's some options here. It could be Summer Mikoto. Bow's like one of the better drops that I could get. Now it's likely to be Pinon because of her rate up, but if it's anything other than a dupe, that would be very exciting. So, what's it gonna be? Alright! Yeah, what is going on? What is going on with the pink? Is it hair or ears? I cannot tell. This is just, oh, what a crazy looking character. I guess she does look kind of cool with her artwork here. Yeah, she does look kind of cool. Maybe I'll try her out in some content that favors water. I have not played the twins Agito other than 2 times on expert difficulty, and both were in solo. So that's one that I'm gonna have to catch up on eventually, but I just didn't end up going back and really doing more of it and learning it in co-op. Same thing with Kayan. I haven't cleared it more than once. I only did the 1 solo clear on Master. So that's why all my Shadow Agito weapons are tier 1 except for Grace's staff. Okay. I mean, we're spending Wormite now. Hopefully we get Gala Thor pretty soon. There is probably a point at which I would decide to stop summoning and not try get Gala Thor if our Wormite gets really low. I don't really need Gala Thor per se, but I do think these Gala Dragons are worth going for. And Gala Thor mechanically is also super interesting to me, so that's why I want Gala Thor more than the power per se. I do think that I'm probably likely to start clearing Tartarus, or Tartarus in co-op and actually try collect the weapons, because the weapons for the Light Agito do seem kind of sweet. And there's a lot of light characters I like. Y'all may have seen earlier in this week, I just posted a Expert Zodiark auto team, which consisted only of light characters. So there are other elements in this game besides Shadow. But Shadow just had so many tools. It's so unfair, in a way. But I don't think it's necessarily easy to use Shadow for everything. It's doable, but not necessarily easy or better. Alright, we're getting a lot of circles with just 4 stars. Our pity rate's getting kind of ridiculous. Yo. Well, whenever we do break our pity, we may get multiple, but I shouldn't even say that because I might jinx us. But already having Yukata Cassandra is kind of just exciting to me. Like, that's another character I really want to test out and just play with and see what she's capable of. Let's skip this. So, for example, I had the Deadlow and Expert Volk auto comp. Wow, 8.5%. And I would like to try her in a comp like that, like a DPS-oriented Volk auto comp. I think that maybe you can just clear fast enough with her that you don't have to worry about some of the more annoying mechanics. It doesn't seem super likely, but I just think that she has the potential to do some cool things. Wow, nothing, huh? 9%? Are we really at 9% right now? Wow. So every 1% increase is 2 tenfolds worth. So this means that we did 2 tenfolds to get to 7%, 2 tenfolds to get to 8%, and now 2 tenfolds to get to 9%. So we've done 60 summons without a 5-star, which means our next pull is guaranteed to be a 5-star. I don't even know if I've hit this before. You can see it here on the showcase info. Once you do, let's see. I might have scrolled past it already. Basically, once you do 60 summons on a Gala, your next one is guaranteed to be a 5-star. Yeah. If a 5-star fails to appear within 60 summons, which is what happened, then a 5-star will specially appear in the summon after that. So we could actually do a single and get a 5-star to appear without fail, but if we do a tenfold, we have that 9% pity rate on the whole tenfold, which is really nice. So let's do that, and hopefully we get multiple 5-stars. All right, we knew we were gonna get something, but geez, 70 summons. How many 5-stars did we get in 70 summons? Only 1. That is actually pretty sad, but obviously counterbalanced by the insane luck we had earlier. And what is our 5-star? It's a dragon. Could be our Gala Thor. That would be a good place to stop, obviously. If it's not Gala Thor and not Ramiel, that's going to be a little bit disappointing. Let's see what it is. Yeah, there we go. Oh, it's so majestic. This man, this dragon, looks pretty good. I really like Gala Thor's design. It makes me even sadder for what's going on with Valix, but I won't get into that. Yeah, Gala Thor looks super sweet here. I'm excited to try him out. I don't know exactly what type of energy team comp I want to make yet, but yeah, I don't know. I kind of want to try and make like a rainbow element energy team, maybe with like Nadine and Festival, Curran, and like Yaten or something. That seems like it could be kind of fun. But obviously the afflictions then become a problem with Rainbow Element. Alright, well, we hit our target. I think we're going to stop with 1 copy. We just don't have that many more resources left, and we're closing in on the anniversary. Let's work on our boxes a little bit and go over what we summoned. So let's start with our dragons. Here's the double Mar situation that I alluded to, which I really didn't need to do, but I thought I might need that power to be able to do some of the autoing and soloing, so that's why I decided to go ahead and use my stones there. But let's look at... oh, we haven't even collected Thor yet. So sorry, 3-star dragons, but you're going to be sold off. I hope that you don't mind and you find a happy home somewhere. Yep, and that includes all of the 3-star dragons. The 4 stars I'm going to continue to save. I've started to save those a little bit more. Alright, those are gone, so now we can collect these, hopefully all of these. Looks like it, and let's get rid of some of these 3 stars again. The 4-star HP dragons I probably won't save actually, but the strength ones I think I will in the mixed. So, Gala Thor. Oof, only 2 stones. What is our sunlight ore count looking like? So we have 2 stones and 1 ore, dude. We are very far off, but that's okay. There's probably going to be some login bonuses, you know, some anniversary goodness. Maybe there will be a pack that is worth purchasing or something for a dream summon that has a sunlight stone. I think we'll get there, and I'm just going to not spend sunlight stones except on Gala dragons from now on, and possibly limited dragons or seasonal dragons, because the essences, so much regret, man. So much regret for unbuying spent that I can't get back. And with me having max bond with all of my dragons, obviously I got a couple new dragons right now in the form of Haster and Thor, which is 2 more sunlight ores. But in general, like, I'm not collecting sunlight ores or stones at a regular pace. So once I get my Chthonius unbind, that's it for him. I have 1 more long, and then everything here is going to be maxed out from the essences until the next wave of updates on those. But yeah, that is going to do it for this video, everyone. I'll probably make a video checking out the event sometime in the future. There's some gated content on that seems kind of interesting, but I haven't even played the story yet. I just went through it for the dailies, so I still have to do that. And you know, maybe I'll make a video walking through the epilogue for the Agito and talk about some of my favorite aspects or which of the trials I like the best. Final thoughts on Tartarus. Tartarus had some annoying mechanics, I'm not gonna lie, like the Fury of the Fallen / Enervation is really annoying. I did all of my all my standard play before I tried to do my expert solo, and I did that in co-op. And I was anticipating that he was going to have this in both phases, which would have been super annoying. Luckily, it's only in the first phase, and if you're in co-op, people can dodge, it's on them, it's not a big deal. But in single player, it's very annoying. You have to be able to iframe everything to protect your team. Not literally everything, but like a lot of the things will cause Enervation or Fury of the Fallen. And when you get the second stack, it resets the timer on the first stack also. So you have to kind of really play around it for solo play. I think that's going to make auto comps very, very difficult. I really don't know how that's going to work, especially because if you're not using Dragon Drive, like you have to go in those portals or otherwise somehow get a dragon and cancel the cage that you're in. Or maybe just force Tartarus to transform or like break Tartarus at the right time. So I think it's going to make auto extremely difficult. It's one of the most annoying things about Void Nidhogg, honestly. So like I don't like this mechanic, but I get it. It does encourage co-op play or just really fast clears or whatever. The other ability that blocks healing, kind of nice in my comp that I use because Veronica and Belina obviously want to stay at low HP when possible, so not being able to get incidental healing is kind of nice. But I really don't think this matters a whole lot. What I noticed is when you go into one of the portals in the first phase, after you come out, your healing is unlocked. And similarly, in the second phase, if you don't go into any portal, then Vengeful Spirit is going to be active and you can't debuff Tartarus at all. This was really confusing to me because I never went into any portals when I first tried this because none of my characters had the proper affliction resistance and I didn't want to go in and, you know, lose the run or something. So I was really confused about why is my Belina not debuffing? How could I get rid of Vengeful Spirit so that she would start debuffing? It turns out by going into the portal, you get rid of Vengeful Spirit so then you can do debuffs. And by doing debuffs, you can change some of Tartarus's purple attacks into red attacks, which are much easier to iframe and obviously lets you protect your team. It also affects, like, the number of portals you've gone in affects things like the Mortal Chaser size. Like, when I had not gone into any portals, the Mortal Chaser was, like, the whole map almost, or at least a big enough circle that my AI would try to follow me into it if I ran to the corner of the arena. So the portal mechanics are kind of interesting. Steel Forged Body significantly reduces the dragon gauge of adventurers attacked by Tartarus if an adventurer is shapeshifted or in Dragon Drive or Divine Dragon form. Their shapeshift, Dragon Drive, or Divine Dragon form will be undone. I never really noticed this, honestly, except there's 1 or 2 moves that Tartarus does which would knock my Bellina out of Dragon Drive. So I assume that's when he was using Steel Forged Body, but otherwise I really didn't notice this, but I could see this being kind of annoying for more dragon-centric comps, because you do need dragons to clear through certain things. And the weapons, the weapons seem awesome. The second variant actually deals damage, and then it boosts your dragon gauge. That's pretty cool. They took it in a different direction that I didn't expect. I thought we were going to see more of the same, so I think the weapons are exciting. I actually want to collect them this time around. But otherwise, that's pretty much all I have to say on that. I just wanted to share that as a little bonus after this successful summoning session, since I did really enjoy the fight and checking out in solo, even if I ended up using a shadow team. I'll have to deal with Light eventually, but that will probably be a ways off. Light is still kind of tough for me, so I might wait until I have Agito weapons or something. But anyway, y'all, that is going to do it for this video, everyone. I hope you enjoyed watching the summoning session, the preamble, the post-amble, I guess. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. I wish you luck with your summoning, and I'll see you next time.